Alright guys, this one doesn't get you fired up. Alright guys, this doesn't get you fired up. This doesn't get you fired up, I don't know what will. This is about basically taking back the power to the citizens from the corporations and from the state. Because one pretty much piggybacks the other and they run their own damn dictatorship from this whole ring of things. Now, the idea between separation of corporation and state is just that. Bring the power back to the individuals. And this is basically what it is. America for decades has moved toward a corporate state. You know, we saw how Blackwater and Haliburton basically took over the Bush administration, how they basically got no bid contracts for Iraq, for Katrina, for any number of things, and this was all done by Democrats, continued citing corporate welfare. Republicans basically doled out during most of the recent banking crisis to the automakers and everybody else. You know, the Affordable Care Act was intended to compete with the transition of Americans from a capitalistic society to a corporate nation. You know, we have companies that are basically controlling citizens at the moment that are born to this day until they die. They set precedent in the American government that it's appropriate and moral for the government to force citizens to buy products and use services by private companies and companies thereof. And they basically buy and sell congressmen and government members. I guarantee your local chief of police and your local government is bought and sold by the private companies in your area. Hands down, you screw up, you're going to jail before they will. And trust me, I'm going to pickle something similar to that, and this is one of the fights that we're going to continue to fight until I goddamn win. The Supreme Court decision on the Affordable Care Act also effectively nullified the amendments protections afforded to every American by the Founding Fathers. And so on and so forth. We can talk about any number of things we want. This is basically where the government has taken or has basically allowed the corporations to buy and sell people on a open market, as it was, and we have to use these private sources and use the money that we get as little as possible that we can possibly get on their no good hedge fund schemes. And we have to watch it on their corporate news channels. We have to see it on the back of their cereal boxes. We have to work, and then we basically are slaves to the system from the time we were born to the time we die. And if we say anything in between, they move up our death 6 or 7 decades. And we're judged as being psychologically impaired, mentally unstable, and anything else because everybody around him is such a fucking drone, it's ridiculous. So, this is about bringing back separation of the state and the people back to the people that will control the corporations from the state and basically nullify any separation or nullify any agreements between corporation and state and citizen thereof. And that's what this movement is about. And you can go on here and see the situation there. Now, I have to say that, I love the fact that they make cars first, they make them safe, they make them this, they make them that. It's fine. There's a difference between that and pushing us into a lifestyle where getting ahead is seen almost as a felony. Or trying to work outside the boundaries is now illegal. And it's dumb. And now you're penalized. You go to prison for X amount because you can. Because they can say, now you belong to this corporation. Well, now you're given food, now you're given shelter, now you're given health care. Okay, well, you want to be in this open market area over here. Now you're not going to have food, you're not going to have health care, you're not going to have a place to live. Where in prison, you had all that under this corporation. You were bought and sold under this corporation. They owned you. How is that any different now when you're in a free man? Now you don't want our health care. Now you don't want to live where we tell you. Now you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that. well, now you are a threat to our way of life. And that is exactly the way they're going to look at this, folks. Hands down, bar none. Thank you.